Okay, let's start. Okay, for question one, which of the following decimal is the smallest? So when you compare them, right, this 0.15, this 0.51, and this 0.105, this 0.501, right? So when you compare, right, the 0.5, you can cancel out because they are the bigger ones, right? We cancel this out, then you cancel this out. So you're just left with this and this number. So 0.15, you can write down like that. In 0.105, you can write down like that. Okay. Now for decimal, once you end, right, you can just put zeros as many as you want. So we stop here. So you compare 150 bigger or 105 bigger. So 150 is bigger, right? So therefore, this is the smallest, which means option 3 is the smallest. Okay. Which of the following is the same as 2040? So 2040 cm, you divide by 100, you get 20.4 meters. In other words, this is 20 meters and 40 cm. So your answer is option 4. Okay. Question 3, which of the following shows 105 of the figure shaded? Now, if you look at option 1, right, you count number of squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 5 equals to 25. There are 5 shaded, right? So 5 over 25 will give you 1 over 5. That's why it's option 1. Okay? Now let's move on to the next part. Okay, question 4. Which of the following is likely to be the length of a road bicycle? So for bicycle, it can't be 17 cm. Okay, it can't be 17 meters, that's too long. Okay, 170 meters is even longer. So therefore, we're going with option number 2. It makes more sense. Basically about 1.7 meters. Okay. Okay, question 5. So question 5, when you're doing your working, right, when you see a question like this, go and count the intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 intervals. So 6 intervals represent 1. So 1 interval will represent 1 over 6. So this number is closer towards 2, right? So from 2, if you go backwards, we subtract. So 2, so you go backwards with just 1 interval. So 2 minus 1 over 6 will give you 1 whole, 5 over 6. So therefore, your option will be option number 3. Okay, let's move on to the next one, question 6. Okay, which line in the square grid is perpendicular to BC? So the one is perpendicular to BC, take note. Sorry, question 6. Oh, apologies. Let's look at question 6. Rachel watched a movie at the cinema. The movie lasted for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Then she walked 25 minutes to reach home. Then she reached home at 6:55 p.m. So you draw a timeline in here, 6.55 p.m. Okay. So we go backwards by 25 minutes. You'll end up at 6:30 p.m. Okay. Now 6:30 p.m., you go backwards 2 hours and 15 minutes. 6 minus 2 is 4. 30 minus 15 is 15. The answer is option. Okay. Question 7. Which of the following is a net cuboid? So when you fold, option 4 makes the most sense. Okay, because it covers the left, this covers the right side, this covers the top, this covers the left side, and lastly, this would cover the front part here. Okay. Question 8. So which one is perpendicular to BC? Okay, so if you look, this is cutting 2 squares and stop here, right? So if you're going in this direction, you should also cut 2 squares and stop here. So therefore, this is perpendicular. Okay. Okay, question 9. So Julian is standing at a location northwest of the landmark D. Okay. So the compass is given to you over here. So write down north, east, south, west. Okay. Okay, so from here, northwest is in this direction here, right? So what you want to do is from where this person is standing, you're facing northwest. So you cut like nicely like this, okay, 45 degrees. And east of landmark A. So from landmark A, you go in east. Okay? So which means the intersection point is where this person is. So in which direction is landmark C from Julian? So underline the part that says from Julian. So which means from here, where is C? So if you go, you draw towards C, it's pointing diagonally in this direction, right? So in your compass, this direction shows northeast. So your answer is option 1. Okay, let's look at question 10. How many pupils took part in soccer and hockey altogether? Okay, so when you look at the chart over here, and then you translate the numbers here, right? Badminton will be 70, hockey is 50, soccer is 100, and golf is 30. So soccer is 100, hockey is 15. And these two you get 150, so it's option number 3. Okay? Okay. Question 11. In the figure, FCEB and DGE are straight lines. Now, ABC is an equilateral triangle. So if it's an equilateral triangle, it means all the angles here are 60 degrees. So it's 60, 60. So this angle here should also be 60 degrees. Put that in. Okay. Next, right, DGE equals to FCE. So let's observe DGE. This is not an angle, this is a line. So this line and FCE, they are equal, meaning this is an isosceles triangle. So this 70 degrees, they should also be 70 degrees. Okay, so how do we find CGE, this angle that's marked over here? Okay, so this is 70 and this is 70. We can go and find what this angle is. So angle DEF is just 180 minus 70 minus 70. So you have 40 degrees here. So which means the angle that you're trying to find, CGE, is 180 minus 40 minus 60, which is 18 degrees. So the answer is option number 2. Okay, question 12. Alex and Ben had $190 altogether. After Alex gave Ben $30, Alex had $40 more than Ben. Okay, so this question, right, you don't have to think so much. You just draw a model where Alex is $40 more than Ben. Okay. So whatever you do right in this question, the total will always stay the same. So take 190 minus 40, that's 150. 150 divided by 2 is 75. So 3 inside here is 75. This is 75. So Alex, this is Ben. So Ben is $75 now, right? So at first, he did not receive the $30 from Alex. So we remove that if you want to find it at first. So therefore, the answer is $45, option number 1. Okay. Question 13. Arrange these volumes from smallest to largest. My advice to you, change this all to decimal. This is 2.4. This is 2.225. Okay. So you know that 2.4 is definitely greater than this 2, right? So you compare 2.25 and you compare 2.225. So the number where it's different is here already, right? You see that? Okay, 5 is greater than 2. So this is the bigger one, and this has to be the smallest one. Okay, so largest must be 2.4. So option 1, option 2 is gone. So just left with option 3 and option 4. So the middle one must be 2.25, which is this one, not this one. And lastly, the smallest has to be this. So it's option number 3. Okay. Okay, question 14 is very easy. Just leave your answer in terms of pi, find the perimeter. So perimeter of a figure or for a circle is 2 pi r. Okay. Or you can use pi times diameter. Okay, diameter of the big one is 12, right? So it's half times 12 times pi. Why half is because it's a semicircle plus half this curve over here, half plus half times 6 times pi. So this should give you 6 pi plus 3 pi. That's 9 pi. And don't forget the number 6 over here. So it's 9 pi plus 6 is option number. Okay, next one. John baked some chocolate muffins and vanilla muffins. He sold an equal number of chocolate muffins and vanilla muffins. This fraction over here in the third sentence talks about what's left, right? So whatever that's sold for vanilla is 1/4, and chocolate muffins is 4/7. They said these two are equal. So we make the numerator the same. So it's 4/16, b equals to 4/7. See, extract your denominator out. So vanilla is 16 units in total, chocolate is 7 units in total. Okay. So what fraction of muffins were sold? So in total, 16 plus 7, which is 23 units. Sold is 4 plus 4, which is 8. So it's 8/23, option number 2. Okay, question 16. Write 3,006,014 in numerals. So 3 million will have 6 zeros. 6,000 will have 3 zeros. And lastly, 14. Just add this up. You will easily get your answer. Okay. So answer is 3006040. Okay, question 17. Round off the following number to the nearest thousand. So this is the 1,000. The number next to it is 4, right? So 94 will drop down to 90. So it's simply 39,000. Okay, so let's write down 39,000. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, question 18. Find the value of 3/8 minus, divide by 18, okay? So right now 3/8 divided by 18 means it's 3/8 times 1/18, okay? Do a bit of cancellation here. We get 6. So 1 times 1 is just 1. 8 times 6 is 48. So answer is 1/48. Okay, question 19. Find the value of the following. Okay, when W equals to 8. So you want to change every number first. So 3, W means 3 times 8, which is 24. W/4 means 8/4, which is 2. So you replace this is actually 24 minus 9 plus 2. Okay, so 24 minus 9 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 7. Okay, question 20. Write down all the common factors of 12 in 20. So write down 12. 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. As for 20, write down 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, 5. So the common factors are 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so 1, 2, and 4. Okay, question 21. Fruit stall. There are 320 fruits altogether. 1/4 of them were apples, 5/8 of them were oranges, and the rest were mangoes. Let's find a fraction of mangoes. 1 whole minus 1/4 minus 5/8. So this is 8/8 minus 2/8 minus 5/8. So this will give you 1/8. So this is the mangoes, okay? Now, I read the sentence, the next one, right? The fruit stall sold 3/4 of the mangoes. Okay, so what is off in mathematics? It means times, right? So 3/4 times 1/8. So then 3/4 times 1/8, you'll get 3/32. So this is the fraction. This is the fraction of mangoes that were sold, right? Because 3/4 of mangoes were sold. So you just take 3/32. times 320. Do a cancellation. You should get 30 as the answer. Okay, question 22. Okay, so Mr. Yap posted a parcel that weighed 4.8 kg. Now, the first 500 grams you pay $2. Then every additional 1 kg you pay 1.50. Okay, so this actually, this part is actually part thereof. Okay, so what you want to do is to take 4800 minus 500 grams, which is 4300. So my advice to you is when you're minusing off 500, account for the money that you're paying for. So at the side here, put $2. Don't forget this later, okay? Now in this 4,300, how many 1 kg will there be? So 4300 grams divided by 1,000 grams. You'll get 4 remainder 300 grams. So this remainder 300 grams will add on to another $1.50. So we round it all up to 5. So 5 times 150 is $7.50. Now earlier on I said just take account of the 500 grams, right? So don't forget the $2. So $7.50 plus 2 is $9.50. Okay, question 23. Go to question 23. Okay, this one very easy. Find the area of the shaded region. So it's always half times base times the imaginary perpendicular height. So take 12 minus 4, that's 8. So 8 is here. So take half times 8 times 5 is 20. Done. Okay, now let's look at the next question, which is 24. So 24 is a bit of logical deduction. Okay, now you read the question, it tells you that the total average is 48. Then when you divide the total into two groups, boys and girls, the average mass of the boys is 50 kg. So this is how you should think, okay? Right smack in the middle is 48 kg. That is when you put everyone together. But if the boys existed by themselves, and if you find the average is 50 kg. So then there's the average for the girls, right? So this is the boys, this is the girls, and this is the total, right? So if the average boys is 50 kg, when they mix with the girls, the final average of everyone is 48 kg. Means if you look at it from the boys' point of view, they dropped. They dropped because they are paired with girls who are definitely lighter in weight on an average. So total mass of the boys is heavier than total mass of the girls. Yes, we can safely conclude that that is true. Okay. Next one, the mass of each girl is 46 kg. Okay, so this one, it is not possible to tell. Okay. Okay. Okay, why we say not possible to tell is because there may be a scenario where this is true, but we don't have any information that confirms this at all. So we cannot safely conclude it with any evidence. That's why it's not possible to tell. Okay. Okay. So let's go to question 25. Okay, so this one you draw a model. So this one is excess and shortage. Okay. The one that talks about excess is the best sentence that describes your total money. Okay, so you put your total money here. Okay, so before your total money is made up of 7 chicken wings, and then you have $5.80. Okay, so from here, so that's your total money, right? So if you're to cater to buying 16 chicken wings, you will exceed your total. You can write down to 16. You'll exceed your total by $5. So you draw a dotted line here. shade this part here. So 16 minus 7 is 9, right? So the shaded part is 9 chicken wings. The very same shaded part is $5 plus 580, which is $10.80. So 1 will be 10.8 divided by 9, which is $1.20. So cost of one chicken wing is $1.20. Okay, let's move on to the next one, 26. So if you look at it diagonally here, right? Okay, you should see which part that's missing. So this is how I should do it. Okay, you see from this way, from here to here, here to here. So from here, the missing part, you can clearly see that it is here and here. That's all. Okay, question 27. Okay, so for question 27, draw the side view of the solid on the grid. So if you visualize this, your answer should be looking like an L shape, okay? And for part B, what's the least number of unit cubes to be added above to form a cube? So all sides, you just take 4 times 4 times 4. You should get 64 cubes. So that's how you create one big cube. So currently you have over here is about 7. So how many more do you need? 64 minus 7, and that is 57 cubes more. Okay. Okay, question 28. Okay. Figure bill is made out of a square and a rectangle overlapping each other. Shaded area to the square is 1 is to 5. So write down shaded area to the square. It's 1 is to 5. Then the ratio of the shaded area to the rectangle is 2 is to 9. What's the ratio of the area of the square to the area of the rectangle? So shaded area, common base, so 2 is to 10, is still 2 is to 9. Square is 10, rectangle is 9. So your answer is 10 is to 9. Okay, question 29. At a party, there's 87 blue balloons and green balloons lined one side of the wall. There are at least 3 balloons between any 2 green balloons. Okay, so if you were to look at how it's arranged, right? Okay, it will be something like this. Okay, you put a green here, you put a green here, there'll be 3 balloons. Then from here, put 3 balloons, and then you go on with it. So if you want to see it as a pattern, you look at it this way. 1 green and 3 balloons. So you take 87 divided by 3, you'll get 21, remainder 3. Don't forget to add 1 back when you're trying to close it. The answer is 2. Okay, question 13. AB is parallel to CD. CD is half the length of AB. So draw a trapezium ABCD on the grid below. So if you observe AB, right? AB cuts across, it diagonally cuts a square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. So that's like 4 units diagonal, right? So here you just cut 2 squares against it. And then you simply cover it. That will ideally create your trapezium. Okay? So that's your C. Okay, then for part B, right? AD is one side of a rhombus. So rhombus means all four sides are equal. Okay. So draw AD, EF on the grid such that it does not overlap the trapezium. Okay. So from here, so what we can do is, okay, so I'm going to remove this part here. Mm. Okay, just for visual sake, I'll redraw part A again. So it's here. This is here. Okay. This part C. Okay, so how will you draw this? So if you realize, this one, it goes 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, 5 units, 6 units to the right, and then 1 unit ground. Okay, so over here you can do the same. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 units. Then from this direction you go down, it's 1 unit. So you can draw your line for the rhombus. E will cut here like that. Where is it? So D will cut here like that. Okay, then from here we go 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 unit. And then you go up. So it has to be here. So mark this spot over here. Then we connect. And lastly, we connect it with A. You will get your rhombus. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just change this. Okay, I think I made an error here. It has to be. Okay, we start again. So this part's correct. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we go up. So you have to mark it here. Okay, so from here, we draw. And lastly, from here to here, we can connect it.